So check this out. I picked up an awesome little passenger. Her name is Julie. And we're gonna check out this unbelievable Ural build. So welcome to AlphaCars and Motorcycles. Here's Julie. My name is Dimitri and Ian is running the camera. And we're gonna bring this bike in the showroom and take you through the absolutely amazing build and all the exciting accessories on this bike. But we're gonna bring the Julie back to her walking yard where she takes her walks. And look at the amount of torque we have in this throttle. We can take off So welcome to AlphaCars and Motorcycles. This is our showroom. Essentially now it is a delivery area. We have a huge showroom right across the way over there. But this is our delivery area. You can see sold Urals. You can see this Mercedes that's actually getting ready for showing. So very, very exciting area to be. And we're gonna show you this Ural, which also happens to be sold, but we just had a customer who looked at it and they are putting some thoughts together. They're going to use a lot of the accessories that they saw on this bike on their build. So this bike will be on our website, even though it's a sold bike. We're going to list it just the way we're going to show it here with all the accessories and pricing, current pricing for these accessories. And by the way, UralNE.com is our e-store where you can see accessories with and without installation. A great option where you can pick certain things to be installed by our technicians and certain things you can do yourself. We're gonna start going over some things in no special order, but there are over 30 items on this bike. We're gonna say hello to Julie. Mackenzie handles the paperwork. And Julie, if she's afraid of a lot of things, she's not afraid of Ural. She absolutely loves it. As many other dogs, she loves to go in the sidecar. Check that out. Okay, back to the motorcycle. With over 30 different items on this bike that essentially there are probably close to 30 accessories, because some accessories like windshield, this will have 3 or 4 different items from our e-store. And in the listing that we have for this bike, and the link is down below, you'll be able to go and to also see the SKU numbers, and then on our e-store you will be able to find these items. And not to mention, we may have links for many of them right there, right here in the description. So 2024 Ural Gear Up in Rainier White with a lot of really nice accessories. And the way we're gonna do this is we're actually going to take you around the bike. First, we will walk around with Ian, with his camera. We'll walk around the bike so you can see the build as it stands. And then the second walk around we're gonna look at specific accessories, and then I'll have to mark them off on my list to make sure we don't miss anything. Rainier White is an amazing color. In this lighting conditions, it looks almost like off-white, but when it is on the direct sun, it almost looks like it has 3-dimensional depth into the panel. It's that beautiful of a color. So here we are, and always any Ural you buy from Ural of New England, you would get a no-charge trickle charger harness. This is a little thing, but it will make a big difference for you, and it makes a big difference for us too. So the trickle charger harness is this side under the cover, and you simply just plug it into your trickle charger, and next time you need to go and ride your bike, it will start and go for you. And it is no charge. We do it with all assemblies when we set up Urals. For windshields, we have smoke medium windshield, and we have a sidecar windshield. And the sidecar windshield, it also has a smoke.
And this is the short version.
Short version, thank you. Yes, it's a short version, but it's a smoke tint. And if I look at them, actually we can look at them together because that's a common question. How close are the tints? Because they're made by two different manufacturers. And they're very, very close. They're not exactly the same, but we have two people here. I just looked at it, and In just looked at it. So which one do you think is lighter or darker, the way you see it?
The sidecar is a little darker.
Yep, that's what I thought.
To the eye outside, it's not really noticeable.
It's almost the same, but this one is a little bit darker. But since you're not going to be looking at both of them at the same time while on the motorcycle, like right here, we look at both of them, but it's almost undetectable. So, but that's a common question that we get asked, and it is very, very close, very, very close. So when I was just pulling the bike in, I was using the reverse gear, which is absolutely amazing feature. There are very few motorcycles that have reverse gear, and I think Ural is the only one that has a sidecar, has reverse gear, and the reverse gear is a true mechanical gear. So it's not an afterthought with a starter motor or some other interesting idea. This is just like in your car. You put it in reverse, in mechanical reverse, and as long as your body sustained looking back, you can go in reverse. There will be no damage to the gears. So, and for that, which is a standard feature, the reverse gear is a standard feature, but there is a hand shifter, which is really, really nice option. It's very simple. So to put in reverse, you really just pull it away, it goes in reverse, you're done with your maneuver, bring it back, and the bike is in neutral.
And it replaces that heel-toe shifter.
Yeah, we can show it on this bike, for example. So this is also pretty convenient, but not as convenient as a hand shifter because you would have to fiddle a little bit between the pedals. And so this puts it in reverse, this puts it out in reverse and back in neutral. And it takes a little bit away from your, how much room you have side-to-side movement for your foot. So when we do have the hand shifter, you can see that eliminated that lever, and I can definitely move my foot side to side with more freedom. And yes, the foot brake is right there. That's the reverse shifter. So then we go to the ultimate LED lighting kit, and this includes a few goodies. So if you look at the bike, we have the headlamp, and this one has the H4 lens, which is an amazing upgrade, very simple, very inexpensive, but it gets you a glass lens with a very nice pattern which distributes the light on the road and produces much more light, even with conventional bulb. But this one has the 60-watt equivalent LED bulb, so it puts a lot of light. Now, we have our standard lights that are for the sidecar. They come standard with the gear up, and the only non-standard feature is the grille. And the grille has a nice Ural writing up there. A common question, does it take away from how much light it puts on the road? Of course it does. It's not much, but it does obviously stand in a way of light, but there's still plenty of light on the road, great protection, not to mention it just looks really awesome. The other part of the LED, ultimate LED light package is your sidecar fender light, which, as you can see, firmly mounted to the heavy-duty bracket of the sidecar fender, and it can be easily adjusted. I'd have to put some force on it, but you can just adjust it and aim it just right. You can see it on the wall there.
And it uses the existing hole for the mounting. No drilling the fender.
Yes, thank you, Ian. That's another common question. What do we need to drill? Nothing. So here it mounts, we match the diameter of the bracket to the hardware that is used to mount the fender. And I believe we supply you with the stainless steel hardware and which you replace. So that's...
All hardware is included.
Yeah, all hardware is included, and all the plug-and-play connectors are included, because this is, we designed it for do-it-yourself installation, very simple installation, bolt to it, and it comes with a harness that you actually bring. Let's use this opportunity and we'll show. So it goes in this factory channel for the harness, and it pretty much goes into this connector, and we give you instructions how to connect it inside. And because it's an LED light, it doesn't draw too many amps, and it allows us to connect to the running light. So this stays on with your running lights, which is nothing wrong with it. This is actually awesome. Speaking of running lights, part of the LED package are your conversion to LED bulbs throughout the bike. So again, it puts a lot less load on the alternator because they run a lot less amps. Yes, Ian is going to turn that on. That's awesome. Yeah, and we still have one more switch to flip. We'll do it in a moment. So you can see, I'm not sure if camera is going to show you, but the perimeter of the bulb is surrounded by LED lights, and the intensity of the lights is a little crisper and brighter, but it's consistent with the fresh bulbs and a fresh lens.
And you'll definitely be seen easier on the road.
Yes.
With the LED light kit.
And we're actually going to do one more thing. We're going to cancel that just by pushing the button, standard feature. We're going to flip this switch, which is, this bike also has hazard lighting package or kit that is already installed. Hazard lights are not standard on Ural. So we do have a kit that we wire in, or you can do it yourself. It is on our e-store. All the links are down below. But as you can see, now all the lights flash on the bike.
And it's really factory integration. It flashes the factory blinker light.
Absolutely.
On the instrument cluster.
Yeah. Yeah, so that is done through, what looks like a relay. It's actually not a relay. It's a certain circuitry inside. And then the last switch we're going to flip, that's to do with LED lighting kit, are these lights. And these I like also very, very much. They definitely align styling-wise with the rest of the lights. And also when you're turning, as you can see, look at that. So as you're turning, you are putting that much more light on in the direction where you're going. So these are fork-mounted lights. We do have another little lighting, auxiliary lights that go over here. They're also very, very nice, and you can add them, and that pretty much will make a complete maximum lighting we offer for the Ural. And everything we do is consistent with factory electrical connections. They are all waterproof and watertight. There's another question on the LED lighting package. Does it cover the lights for the license plate? And yes, it does. So I have this, my cheat sheet with all the accessories, almost 2 pages worth. And as you can see, there's a pretty bright light that comes out from here.
And why don't you hit the brakes so we can see we can see how bright the brake light is now. Oh yeah.
So we have that. And for the brake light, we have another kit which is not included with this bike, but there is another extra brake light that is flashing that we offer, and there's electronic circuitry that we offer that can be integrated to...
This one has it.
This one has it?
It was on the list. It was hard to find on the list.
I just didn't get to that.
Yeah.
So the way it works, for the first few seconds, it can be programmed differently, but for the first few seconds, you can see it's flashing, and then it stays on continuously.
Yeah, turn off the hazards so we can see it. It works on both rear brake lights.
Absolutely. How's
so
that?
That flash might be all the person behind you needs, between the difference of them seeing you and them not seeing you.
Unfortunately, we have a motorcycle here, and everybody was okay, but it was rear-ended. A Ural was rear-ended. It definitely held up really, really good. I don't know if that light would have made a difference for those drivers, but it impressed me how the parts held up to a car impact. So anyway, turning things off to keep, and speaking of the lights, there's also a common question. Do these lights stay on with the bike off? Yes, and it could be, there are pros and cons to this. This is how factory sets it up. So these lights are on regardless if the bike is running or not, so you definitely want to pay attention to that. But there is definitely a pro for that, because if you are somewhere in a campground or somewhere where the light is needed and you don't want to have the ignition on the bike or engine running, it's nice to be able to just turn them on. They're LED, they don't take too much power, and you can keep them running for definitely for a while and still be able to start your bike. So we covered our lighting, which also include the grills. We showed them. We showed the flasher kit. We did show the back off a brake light module that is wired in this bike. And I guess this is not an electrical part, but there is a powder coated headlamp visor, which is a nice, not only a cosmetic feature, but it actually has a great functionality because it almost eliminates glare from the headlamp under certainly like foggy driving conditions. And another element of lighting, though it's a protection for lighting, we have these heavy-duty kind of like cages.
I believe
rock
it's
guards.
it's called the Rock Guard kit.
Yep, rock guard kit. So that is a great, very popular accessory, and it also includes this piece in the back right there. And as you can see, these are offered by Ural, and their implementation is consistent with, and finish consistent with the rest of the bike, and the gauge of certain elements, the size of the pipes are consistent. We do have a sidecar rear view mirror, very common, very popular accessory. So there it is. So you can see the camera in the mirror. And sidecar fender rack is nicely integrated with these lights, uses the same mounting points, and again, there's no drilling involved with this. And another awesome accessory, that is our in-house design, and we've been offering this for many, many years with awesome reviews, is this sidecar rear bumper. Very easy, straightforward installation, awesome look, and certainly very, very functional. Not only protects this one particular area, because there are styles where it just one cross member goes across, but this one gives you protection up high. And of course, up here you have a spare wheel that also protects from backing into things.
We'll have to take the tonneau cover off.
Yes, we're going to take the tonneau cover off. Let's do that. And we're going to do it in a certain way, which we already showed in the past. So the tonneau covers, you can certainly completely take them off, but if you know you're not going to use it for a while, but if we're just going to pull it off and then maybe we'll come back to using it, we are going to just remove these tie downs. And then it's nice when you sit in the sidecar, and then I would loosen this up, bring this back. So now what we can do, we can flip this here on the inside, and then flip the other side. Let me just catch that one. Yeah, it's still very, very quick. And then this one goes on the inside, and it kind of looks like this when you have it. Again, we're just showing it and trying to be extra neat. But basically, you're just doing this. At the end of the day, you're just rolling this in, allowing a little bit of distance, leaving just a little bit of room, and then as you roll it, just bring it over. And you have a really nice, neat system. You can still use this as a handle, and it literally stored it away. And here, we're greeted with a beautiful wooden dashboard that is actually made from a fancy wood right here in Boxborough by one of the woodworking shops right down the street. They've been doing it for us for years. We do have a couple of switches, and there's a 12-volt power distribution, European style. Cigarette lighter adapter style, where you can plug in your dual USB insert or just the conventional charger. And this is for an extra circuit. This usually comes on the power distribution panel. You can see it right here. There is one there, but we also provide an extra one over here. There are no wires, but you can connect that. And there are extra fuses in the power distribution panel on the inside, so you can keep that in mind.
And we've got a neat net
Oh,
in
yes.
there.
Thank you. We didn't get that, but I can definitely mention that. So there is another compartment you can easily install. We do offer these on our e-store, so you can put some goodies right in there. So that's great.
Yeah, great for your passenger hat or water bottle.
Yes.
And speaking of passenger comfort, we have the armrests too.
Yes. And that's for like a human passenger. But this particular customer, he will also have a four-legged passenger. And for those passengers, to make sure they don't just jump out, we have these eyelets. And they're stainless steel. And basically, with those, there is a small space right there where it comes out on this side. I can actually see it, feel it right there. So you can put a leash and clip it here. So that way, all that business happens outside of the sidecar, and over here just have a leash, and you can keep the dog in the sidecar. There are some also goodies to go here with for this customer. That's the first service kit and a few other things. And he's actually coming out this way to ride the bike for a few days and then have it serviced before he takes it home for a long ride. What else do we have here? Armrests, we talked about it. The trunk net organizers. There's one here in the trunk. Let's show that as well.
I think there's one on both sides.
Yeah.
There's three of them.
Yeah, so you can see them right there. And they're very easy to install. They're very sturdy because they have a Velcro, but a nicely done Velcro tape that keeps it on the body. So we do have an adapter here. This is a very simple thing, but a very handy accessory. So on this bike, we actually showed you there is a 12-volt cigarette lighter adapter, and there is a European style. Ural standard is this one. This is as an optional with the wooden dashboard, but this adapter will convert that. So you just plug that in there, and now this becomes your cigarette lighter adapter. Very simple and very, very effective. We have a couple of convenience goodies right here on the motorcycle. So one of them is a phone mount. This one is unbelievable as far as how sturdy it is, and it mounts to the factory ball mount right there. Highly recommend, have a lot of positive reviews. It is like when this is tight, and this is tight now, it is so strong, it just like you can literally shake the whole bike. This is extremely sturdy. And then when you have your phone there, you need to charge it, and for that we have this. This is aluminum housing. This is not plastic. This is consistent with all the other aluminum parts on the steering bar. So this one is on-off, and it's a QC, so it's a quick charger. It will, fast charger, also known as a fast charger. So we have that.
And it'll read your bike's voltage as well.
Oh, yes.
When the bike's on.
Yeah, when the bike is on. Let's take a look at that real quick. There it is. So we have 11.9 volts, not running with some electrical accessories on. This is actually good state of charge for the battery.
Very healthy.
Very healthy. So if it was 11.2, it would be, the bike would probably start, but you would know that it's good to ride for some time. Good reason to ride.
Yeah,
or
it's
plug
handy
it
to
in.
monitor it.
Yeah, or plug it in. And you will certainly know if you're having any issues. I don't think you would have it on newer bikes, but if you had an older bike with a new concern for the charging system, this is great to have because you'll have an early indication of charging system issues before you just found yourself stranded. So highly recommend this accessory for any motorcycle. Oh, there is one other accessory here. I'm glad we left it for last, and this is Airhorn. Check this out. So, and it's so discreetly designed. We actually did the design here at Ural of New England. We've been selling this for many, many years, over 10 years for sure. And this is an Italian manufactured part. It's a direct drive compressor with the air horn. When I say direct drive, it doesn't have a tank, it doesn't have the tube. It's the compressor driven by motor creates enough pressure, air pressure, to produce the sound. Let's make sure we're not going to scare anybody. So this will make you smile, and you better look around before you do that because you may scare some people. Wow. I'm not sure if the video is going to transmit the volume. And we're getting close to the end of the list. But this is another really cool accessory. So these, the Urals, you can get very inexpensive and very functional shin guards. I think this customer either purchased them or, because what I see here, we usually mounted this gauge on the bracket for the shin guard. So this is the bracket you would use for the shin guard. And the shin guard are made from plastic, and often we hear, well, it's an awesome, expensive motorcycle, why they're plastic? Everything is metal, which is true, everything is metal. The shin guards used to be metal too in the 90s, early 2000s. But what happens with shin guards, you do go through things and you definitely bend them just because they are on the way. The heavy-duty plastic is flexible and it comes back, just like automotive bumper covers. They used to be metal, like this gorgeous Mercedes. But if you hit that, you're in for $4,000 chrome bumper. On the modern cars, you have plastic bumper cover. If you dent that, it may just come right back. You may have to refinish it, but it's certainly not going to have to replace it. The same thing Ural did with these. They use the same style, but they're made from flexible plastic. So I highly recommend them. And don't feel bad, and don't feel that Ural is cheating you out of metal. It's still an awesome metal bike, and there's a reason that they went to plastic here. So with that said, this is the bracket. It's a single gauge with dual display, with dual arrows. One for right cylinder, one for left cylinder. And when you start the bike, and as it runs, these start to come up. And it uses no electrical power. It actually uses and as you can see here, we did such a neat installation that I'm saying to myself, where do we have the sensor cable? Because this uses a certain cable that actually senses the heat right through the cable without electricity, and that works on both sides. And that is delivered to the gauge, which mechanically moves that needle. That's the technology from aviation industry, and we're successfully using it here on a Ural motorcycle. So I think we're close to covering pretty much all the accessories. Let's have another look at the bike. And as it is a long video, and we appreciate you spending the time on the channel, and we hope you enjoyed it. But there's a lot more about Urals, so stay on our channel. In fact, subscribe to our channel, because if you subscribe, you'll get notifications on when these videos are coming out, and a few other very awesome videos for motoring enthusiasts that we put almost daily content on our channel. So don't miss out. Please subscribe. Please let us know which videos you like the best by simply clicking that like button. And we want to thank you for watching this video. My name is Dimitri. I was here with Ian, Julia, and Mackenzie. So we thank you for viewing, and until next time.